Right, this week it's been a little bit of a short week, obviously, because it's bank holiday, but we got a bit done. So we'll start off and we'll get into it. Right, so at the beginning of the week, we started off on the Aston Martin, which is just parked outside behind us at the moment. Done our inspection on it and just checked it all over. It's not actually that bad. It's actually very, very good. There was a few issues that we picked up on. Nothing major. Obviously, the worst part was the broken front suspension. So obviously, nothing on that is available, as in actual arms wise. You can get bushes and things, but you can't actually get the actual components. So we took it off, and we've actually managed to do a very good repair on it. And it's probably going to be stronger than it was originally. As originally, it was only a press fit into the lower arm. You've got like the hub and upright assembly and the drag strut with a big ball on the end of it where it bolts to the chassis, mounts to the chassis. Where it mounts to the arm, it was only a press fit in there, and that's where it had broken. So we measured it all up and compared it to the other side, made sure the measurements were correct, cleaned it all up, and it's quite a thick material, so we V'd it. What one of V is got the round bar, put a decent sized chamfer on the edge of it, so that because of the thickness, you can then fully weld it and get decent penetration. And we also sleeved it with a thick piece of tube and welded that in as well. So that's all sorted and it's all nice and strong and it's welded back together absolutely fine. Cleaned it all off and that'll be as strong as it was, if not stronger, the day it was made. So we've got that sorted out. Like I said, we then done our inspection on it, and it's mostly lots of little things, really. Things like playing the throttle linkages. It obviously needs a service. The rear shock absorbers are absolutely goosed. They're not actually doing anything, so they need replacing. Needs pads around, and it needs front discs. And then there's a couple of little minor electrical things that could do with addressing. And it's then pretty much ready to go. The only issue is, one, the parts are absolutely astronomical for it, and there's no reason for them to be that much. But of course, it says Aston Martin on the front of the car, so the companies charge an absolute premium for it. For example, like the front brake discs. One, they're sold individually. I mean, who in their right mind fits individual discs? God only knows. They're £698 each, which is absolutely ridiculous. Rear shock absorbers, they're electronically adjustable cantilever shock absorbers. So they're a lot of money anyway, cantilever shock absorbers, but these ones, being electronically adjustable, they're £650 each. So straight off the bat, there's way over £2,000 worth of parts just to sort their two issues out. Now, we have ordered the parts and we're waiting for them. They're actually on back order at the moment. Not really sure of a date when we're going to get the parts. I spoke to the supplier. I spoke to a couple of suppliers. Same story. They're not, although they're listing them and they can supply them, they aren't forthcoming with an actual date of when we can actually get the parts, which is quite annoying. This is something we have to put up with, but I will be chasing them up regularly to try and get the parts for that and get it sorted. So that's the Aston. I think that's about all there is on that. We can get on with the other few jobs and that on it, so it's done. And then it just needs, obviously, the final few parts to finish it. Then the rest of the week, we was actually on, we're doing bits on this, getting the suspension ready to go. As it's actually, although the suspension is on the car at the moment, we've been refurbishing some other parts, struts, lower arms, etc., ready to just go on. We've got them over here. So we've rebuilt front brake calipers. We stripped them, blasted them, had them replated, and we've got new seals and stainless steel pistons in the calipers, so they're good to go. Pardon me. And then we got a pair of lower control arms that we've refurbished. So we took the ball joints out, took the bushes out, blasted them, painted them, fitted new ball joints and new poly bushes, and same with the struts. So we fully stripped the struts, blasted them, and painted them, so they're now ready to reassemble with new shock absorbers, new bump stops and spring seats, etc. So I've got a few more bits to clean up, i.e. the top mounts, springs, back plates, and then we can actually crack on and get it sorted out so it's done. That's going to be hopefully early part of the week, where we get all the suspension done, get the brakes done, and it then starts, runs, drives, because obviously it's already running. It has been for a while now. Yeah, at that point it'll be start, run and drive, and we can sort out the few electrical issues it's got. So it has got a number of electrical issues, which I'm hoping is just where it's been sat for a long time and it's got corroded connections and things like that. Some electrical issues you can be very simple. Sometimes you can chase them for a long time before you actually find the issue. But we'll sort them out and get it sorted. And we've also got the red TR7V8 sorted. We're going to actually go have a quick look at that because it's outside. Okay, the red TR7V8. This you may have seen it floating around in the background in different videos. We had it in. It came in as a non-runner. It had been sat off the road quite a few years, and the owner is just wanted us to get it so it's up to a point where it could start, run and drive, so you can then sell it as a good rolling sort of restoration. And that's, well, it is. It's not really a rolling restoration. It just needs a bit of titivating to get it so it's actually very, very good. Because body-wise, it is lovely. It's not full of filler and fiberglass. It's not got all rust coming through here, there, and everywhere. It's actually quite a good car. It will polish up well. So we had to have the gearbox out of it because the clutch will seize to the flywheel, which, because it's got quite a tuned engine in it, with tubular manifolds and everything as well, means you have to remove all the exhaust manifolds to get the gearbox out. So we've got the gearbox out. We've done the remote bushes on the gearbox as well while the gearbox was out, as they were non-existent. They were completely, they just weren't there. Got all that back together. New clutch hydraulics because they were completely goosed. We've then gone round and freed up the brakes as they were a bit sticky, but after a bit of working, they come back to life, so they're okay. And we've then put a good second-hand hood on it for the owner, as well as the hood that was on it was, well, nothing left of it. It was just ripped to shreds. I think that's about all we have done on it, really. And it's now up to a point where you could potentially use it. It's actually pretty much roadworthy. It's got one or two little electrical issues that need to be looked at, but I didn't want us to spend any more time on it, as obviously the bill will be going up and up and up. So we've called it a day where it is. So it starts, runs, drives. If anyone is looking for one of these, which they want something that is a good starting point, then please get in touch, as we can put you in touch with the owner, and you might be able to do a deal together. So it's got a fairly tuned 3.5 in it. I'm not sure what's actually in the engine, but the way it performs and how responsive it is, I would say it's fairly good compression ratio. It's got it's going to have a different camshaft in it. It's got Offenhauser manifold with a Holley carb and a tubular exhaust manifold. So it's been breathed on a fair bit, and it is a good little car. Engine is sweet as a nut. Goes through the gears, stops. It's also got upgraded brakes on the front. It's got the 4-pot calipers and vented discs. So it wants a little bit of interior work. The carpets, really. The seats, well, they're not to my taste, but they're okay. They will clean up. Just really wants a set of carpets inside. But other than that, yeah, it's a cracking little car. So that's actually leaving us this afternoon. The owner's coming down and picking it up. So that'll be good to see that one go. Then we've got EWK. So EWK, we didn't get quite as far as we wanted to this week. One, it being bank holiday, and my dad only comes in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. He came in on Tuesday, and it was extremely hot. I think, well, we're both struggling with the heat because in here it gets extremely hot. It's like being in an oven. And then Wednesday he had another commitment to go and sort out. So he was only in on Tuesday. But on Tuesday he got the roof pretty much finished. It's just a case of going around the edges and tidying up the edges now on the roof, and a little bit around the back window aperture to tidy up. And then we are on taking the panels off, prepping up all the door shuts, nooks, crannies. They don't need any filler work or anything. They just need prepping up, ready for primer, like in the field filler area and things like that. So there's the bonnet shut, boot shut, door shuts, all the fiddly little tiny bits, nooks and crannies, backs of the panels need prepping. But the shell, we'll get the shell prepped first, so we can then mask it and get it epoxy primed and filler primed. Then we can be getting on with the panels while the primer's curing. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have it primed this week. I can't see any reason why not. But we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, I can't see any reason why we shouldn't be able to have it primed this week. Isn't a great deal to do now, but it is at the point where it's a bit filling, time consuming now, prepping up all the little tiny tight spots and nooks and crannies. So they can take a bit of time to do, and at that point it doesn't really look like you've made a lot of progress, but it's obviously an essential part of doing the paintwork. So that's where we're up to on that one. Hopefully, yeah, it'll be nice to see that in primer by the end of the week. So yeah, next week we're on the white TR. Doubt we have any parts of the Aston next week. And then we're also going to hopefully do a bit on the Persian 8, get that serviced and the alternator sorted out on it. And we've got to look at the clutch fault as well. It's got the clutch pedals too high, which I'm hoping is just the length of the rod on the master cylinder. That's quite a common issue. People fitting the wrong ones. So hopefully that'll sort that issue out. There's really not a lot to do on the Persian car. And then we'll hopefully be on the Blue Stag as long as nothing else crops up. So that's pretty much where we're up to. We've got plenty of photographs of all the work that we've been doing and all the parts being refurbished. So on that note, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.